Welcome back. You're watching Headlines Now. Moving on to some national news now. Mumbai's police chief has denied author Salman Rushdie's claims that paid assassins were hired to kill him during the Jaipur Literary Fest. Salman Rushdie cancelled his visit to Jaipur yesterday, citing a threat to his life from the Mumbai underworld. Rushdie said that he had learnt of a threat to his life from intelligence bureau sources in Maharashtra and Rajasthan. Mumbai police sources have told Ndtv that they did not give any such input to anyone. After the row over the planned reading of the satanic verses at the Jaipur Lit Fest, the police has asked organizers for the tapes of the reading. This incident seems to have overshadowed everything else at the Lit Fest. Booker Prize winning author Michael Ondaatje says it is a sad moment not just for writers but for the entire country.
Sri Lankan Canadian Booker Prize winning novelist and poet Michael Ondaatje. You're coming to India after a long time, and it's a festival that's been rather fraught with a great deal of drama in the last 48 hours. What's your take on the Salman Rushdie controversy, Michael Ondaatje?
Well, I think it's a tragic incident, really. I mean, any kind of censorship for me is appalling, and this is what's happened here right now. I know the fact that he couldn't be here is a very, very sad thing for writers and for the festival, and probably for India, because it does represent India as perhaps more of a problem in terms of censorship than it really is.
So what does this tell you about changing or unchanged India?
I don't know. I don't know India too well, so I can't really kind of answer that question, to be honest. But, you know, I can only respond as someone who knows Salman and is a friend of his, and who thinks he's an exceptional writer. And to not hear him in his own country is a tragedy, I think.
Meanwhile, the CBI investigations into the UP Health Mission scam could receive a fresh boost from the report of the Comptroller and Auditor General on irregularities in the scheme. NDTV has access to the CAG report of the scheme from 2008 to 2011, which has revealed that the implementation framework of the National Rural Health Mission scheme was violated by the Mayawati government. Madhya Pradesh Minister Gauri Bisain, who is often the center of controversies, has landed in fresh trouble. On Friday, Gauri Bisain made a boy sitting in the crowd tie his shoelaces, not once but twice. This was during a function in Chhindwara. Sensing the situation getting out of hand, Gauri Bisain's supporters immediately whisked the child away. Union Minister Kamal Nath was also present at the function. He has now condemned the incident.
Did not see it, I did not notice it. I did not know of it. And if I had seen it or noticed it, I would of course condemned it there and then. In my 31 years since I've represented this district in Parliament, this is one of the most obnoxious events which has happened. It deserves to be condemned and criticized.
An NDTV exclusive, an RTI application had exposed the horrors at a medical college in Gorakhpur. Over 3,000 children have died in 35 months at this hospital. Sonal Mehrotra travelled to this hospital where the lack of facilities is nothing short of a horror story.
ज़्यादा बच्चे मर रहे हैं और रोज 4, 5, 6 तो मेरे आंखों के सामने से जा रहे हैं। इंसेफेलाइटिस के लिए स्पेशल वार्ड जो है और बड़ा जो बनवा दें ताकि मरीजों को जो है दिक्कतें ना हो।
अपनी आंखों के सामने अपने बच्चों को मरते हुए देख के कैसा लगता है ये हम जान रहे हैं अच्छी तरीके से।
सर बच्चा है एक सर तो मर रहा सर, उसको इसके लिए हम क्या करें सर, बहुत मजबूर हैं, परेशान है सर। उसके बाद दिक्कत आ गया सर, पैसा खेत थोड़ा बहुत है उसको बेच के सर दवा करा रहे हैं।
3,745 children dead in just 2 years in just one government hospital in Gorakhpur, UP. This is India's hospital horror. According to an RTI reply received from BRD Medical College, Gorakhpur, a hospital that overflows with patients, primarily children suffering from the deadly encephalitis virus, there are no incubators. 3 were installed in 1990, but they haven't worked since 1991. No ventilators. All 3 ventilators available have been out of order since 2010. There are just 35 pediatricians. At least 52 are required. And of the 76 nurses needed, the hospital has just 54. For over 3 decades, children affected by Japanese encephalitis have been struggling for their lives.
more than 500 patients at a time during the summer season and this rainy season, and only 35 doctors. They have to work for 8 hours duty. But I tell you, most of the doctors go to the medical college at about 8:30 and they come back about 2:30 in the night without their lunch and all that. And majority of them leave this place because they don't have the time to get any relaxation or even the food.
More than 50,000 lives lost as the public health system has completely collapsed in the region. But will the story of Gorakhpur and its dying children matter in the upcoming polls? Bureau Report, NDTV.
In the midst of all those scams and scandals, let's bring you some good news. Panduranga, an auto driver from Bangalore, has shown that it is possible to stick to a good value system. He returned a sum of no less than 5 lakh rupees that had been left in his auto to the rightful owners. Maya Sharma spoke to this hero, whose action has been appreciated by the Bangalore police.
It is not an easy life for 33-year-old Panduranga. He is up at 5:30 in the morning to help his brother with his milk business. Then it's on to plying his auto rickshaw through Bangalore's maddening traffic, until he finally heads to his humble home around 10:30 at night. Money would always be welcome. But when he found out one of his passengers had left no less than 5 lakhs behind in his auto, there was no question of quietly hanging on to it.
ನೈಟ್ 10 ಗಂಟೆ ಹಂಗೆ ಬನಶಂಕರಿ ಬಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಜರಗ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಆಟೋ ಹತ್ತಿದ್ರು. ನೈಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಂಗೆ ಗಾಡಿನಲ್ಲೇ ರೋಡ್ ಹಾಗೆ ಇತ್ತು, ರೋಡ್ನಲ್ಲೇ ಇತ್ತು. ನಮ್ಮ ತಾಯಿ ಸಡನ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ ಯಾವುದೋ ಇದೆಯೋ ಹಿಂದ್ಗಡೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಹೌದಾ ಸರಿ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಏನೋ ಬಟ್ಟೆ ಗಿಟ್ಟೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಬಟ್ಟೆ ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಅವರು. ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಫುಲ್ ಹಣ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರು. ಅವ್ರ ಮನೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲಲ್ವ, ಅವ್ರು ಮೇನ್ ರೋಡ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ದಿದ್ರು. ಡೌಟ್ ಇಂದ ಒಂದು ಅಂಗಡಿ ಅವರು, ಯಾರಿಗಾದ್ರು ರಾತ್ರಿ ಡ್ರಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರ ನೀವು, ಹಣ ಕಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹುಡುಕ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಂದ್ರು. ಹೌದು ಸರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಅವ್ರ ಮನೆ ಬಾಗಿಲು ತಟ್ಟಿದೆ ನಾನೇನೆ. ತಟ್ಟಿದಾಗ ತುಂಬಾನೇ ಖುಷಿ ಆಯ್ತು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ.
ಅವ್ರು ವಾಪಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಪಾಪ ಅವ್ರ ಕಷ್ಟದಿಂದ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅವರ ಪ್ರಾಣ ಉಳಿಸಿದ್ವಿ ಅನಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ.
The worried passenger who needed the money for hospital treatment of a relative had immediately filed a police complaint.
ಇಂಥ ಆಟೋ ಚಾಲಕರು ಇಂಥ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ರಿಂದ ಅವರು ಪಾಪ ಕಷ್ಟದಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರು ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲ್ ಅಡ್ಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅವ್ರ ಅಣ್ಣವ್ರನ್ನ. ಅವ್ರು ಬಹಳ ಸಂಕಟ ಪಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕೊಟ್ಟರು. ನಮಗೆ ಅಳು ಬಂತ ಅವ್ರಕ್ಕೆ.
It is said that honesty is the best policy, but it is clear from the scams rocking our country that not everybody seems to agree with that idea. But Panduranga, an auto driver here in Bangalore, is different, and he and his family are showing that there is another and a better way. With Alphonse Raj, Maya Sharma in Bangalore for NDTV.
And Kareena Kapoor has decided to give the crown of size 0 to someone else. Find out who after a short break.